Happy Friday, everyone. It is time to close out for the month of September and find out how much it was that we actually ended up saving. So let's dive right in. Welcome back to Katie's Budgets. I'm so glad you stopped by. My name is Chris, and today we are closing out for the month of September and finding out how much it was that we ended the month with as far as a total balance, as well as how much we were actually able to save throughout the month. So we're going to dive right in. So I hope everybody had a great September. I know it just flew for me completely. So we're going to start with, emergency and see where we ended with. It looks like we had started the month of September with 270, and according to this we have 320. So we have 200 in the bank, we have 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, so that's 300, 5, 10, 15, and 20. So we can take back to the bank and put into our savings account $100. Sorry guys, I am not as prepared as I normally am. So we are going to take back 100. And we ended with 320. So we're going to replace that with a placeholder for 100. And I believe that means that we added a total of $50 to that fund over the course of September. So we now have 300 in the bank and 320. So the idea behind doing a cash condensing and closing out for September is just so that I can kind of reduce the amount of actual cash that I'm holding onto at home and put those funds into a high yield savings account where it's going to earn me some interest, so that it's not just kind of sitting and collecting dust instead. So Christmas, we started the month of September with 590. And looks like we are at 640. So 500 of that is already in the bank. And then we have 50, 70, 90, 110, 20, 30, 35, and 40. So we are going to take back 100. All right, so there's 50, 70, 80, 90, 95, 100. So we're going to take back 100. We have 640. And that means we added $50 to this one. So we will put there we go. Okay. So we need to add a $100 placeholder for this one. The placeholders that you're seeing me use are available on my Etsy store, which is Katie's Budgets, there as well. And those are available as a digital download. So we have 5, 6, 620, and 640. And there's lots of other fun placeholders out there. There's a lot of creators that have them. So, if you're kind of looking for something, I know digital downloads really is kind of the way to go with that, because then you have, you purchase the file and then you have it for however long you want. Birthdays, we had started out the month with 25. We are at 40. And I think we can take these 2 5s and 10 back and we can replace that with a 20. So we added 15, is that right? Yes. We added 15 to that fund over the month. And vet savings, this one has the most movement typically, because I do take them every 6 to 8 weeks to get their nails trimmed, and sometimes we have to purchase some other stuff. So we had started the month with 121, and we should have 136. Now this is the one that I will not cash condense. I leave everything in cash as it is. Just makes being able to pay the vet when I take them a lot easier. I don't have to write a check. So there's 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 136. So that means we added 15 over the course of September. And then in car maintenance, we started with 155, and we are at 170 now. And that means we added 15 to that one as well. And there's 100 in the bank. And then we have 20, 40, 50, 60, 65, and 70. I'm going to keep 25. I'm going to add a $50 placeholder. And put that in the bank so that we still have 150 in the bank, 20 and 75, 150, 70, 75. My goodness, you would think I had completely forgotten how to count. All right, and then license plate renewal, we started the month with 180. However, we had to pay for that this month, and so we ended the month with 20. So that means it went down by 160, which is okay. And we have two 20s, or two 10s, I'm gonna replace that with 20. All right, and then Costco, we started the month out with 85. I think my hands are starting to go, I've done too much. Okay. And we are now at 95. I don't think I can replace anything, but we do have 50 in the bank. And then we have 70, 80, 85, and 90, 95. So I think I'm going to replace 10, 15, 20. So we still have 50 in the bank, 70, 90, and 95. Okay, and that means we had added a total of $10 to that one. And then moving on to debt, we had 25 in there, and we added 10. So we have a total of 35. I don't think that this can be condensed any further than it already is. And then moving on to my low priority, so holidays, I started out the month with 180. And we are now at 200. So there's 100 in the bank, 150 in the bank, and then we have 20, 30, 40, 45, and 50. So I'm going to take 50 back to the bank. And I'm going to take this $50 placeholder and this 100 and replace it for a 200. And I believe that that has us paid pretty much in full. So fully funded, I'm just going to write that on my sheet so that I remember in case I try to add more money, which honestly, more money is not necessarily a bad thing, but I need to start reallocating those funds elsewhere if I can. So we had added $20 to that one over the course of September. And then self-care, we started out with 75. And we are up to 100. So there was 50 already in the bank. We have 20, 30, 40, 45, and 50. So we're going to take these back to the bank. And then I'm going to replace this $50 placeholder with a $100 placeholder. That means we added 25 to that. over the course of September. And then vacation, we started September with 280. And we now have 300. It means we added 20. And we have 250 in the bank, and then 20, 30, 40, 45, and 50, right? 20, 30, 40, 45, 50. Everybody's probably yelling at me going, why are you counting it backwards? Because I'm not paying attention. So we're going to put $50 back into the bank, and I'm going to replace this $50 one with a $100 placeholder. And that is going to be fully funded as well. So I'm going to put fully funded, just like I did on the other one. And that way, that money I can start allotting somewhere else as well. Okay, and then budget supplies, I started out the month with 45. Oops. And we ended with 65. That means we added 20 to that over the course of the month. And I should 20, 40, 50, 60, 65. So I am going to take 50 back to the bank. Put a $50 placeholder in. So we have 50, 60, 65. Oops. And then moving, we started the month out with 85. And we now have 115. That means we added 30. So we have 50 in the bank, 70, 90, 100, 10, and 15. So you guessed it, we are going to take that 50 back and take it to the bank. I'm going to replace that 50 placeholder with a $100 placeholder. So then we still have 115 in moving. And then lastly, we have YouTube, and I ended last month with 65 on that one. And this month we are at 85. Which means we added 20 to this one. And we have 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 85. So I think we are going to take 50 back and put it in the bank. And we're going to put a $50 placeholder. So we've got 50, 70, 80, 85. Alrighty, so give me 1 second. I will be right back and be able to give you the totals for how much we actually saved over September, what our ending amount is for our savings in our sinking funds, and then how much it is we are sending back to the bank to earn some interest for us. Okay, so I am back. So the total amount that we were able to add overall was $140 to our sinking funds. That was offset a little bit by the fact that I had to pay for the license plate renewal. The actual total amount that we added was $300, but then we had that $160 that came off of there. So we started out September with a total of $2181 for our sinking funds, and we ended this month with $2,321 as our final amount. And we are able to take back to the bank $550. So we're just going to count that up and make sure that we actually have everything we're supposed to. So this is the real telling point. I'm just going to set that $50 aside. This is the telling point that's going to tell me whether or not I screwed anything up as I was taking those funds out. I try really hard to keep track of that, but you know, things happen. So we have 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 20, 40, 60, 80, 2, 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 3, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 4, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 500, and 50. So everything is there. So that gets us closed out for September. So here's to hoping that we do just as well, if not better, in October. And I will see you in the next one, guys. Have a great day. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give us a like, leave a comment, share the video, do all the things, and help us grow our little corner of YouTube. And we'll see you in the next one, guys. Thanks so much. Bye.